Hey guys, Sensei Tom down at Toro Martial Arts Academy. Moving on to the green belt level in the self-defense curriculum, okay? So what we're looking at today are a couple headlock escapes. For this one, we're going to look first at the side headlock. Very common and very dangerous technique you'll see in self-defense situation. Particularly dangerous if she starts throwing punches here, okay? We'll look at the punch defense version later on. Right now, we're just concerned about getting out of this grip. So she's putting some pressure on the side of the neck here. First, I'm going to cup my hand and put some downward pressure on her wrist. Always the far side wrist, not this one. Most people want to come and grab here, but if she squeezes with this arm, she can still punch with that arm. So I always grab the far arm, so in case she starts throwing punches, I can try to kind of control that wrist. So always grab the far side arm, put a little pressure down just to release some of the pressure off your neck. This one's a very simple one. My free hand is going to come up from behind, drop right in between me and her, and I put my palm against the side of the jaw, and now I'm going to bend my thumb, and using the pressure, the point of my thumb, put a little pressure right on the inside of the jawbone and peel the face backwards, and then from here I can push out. A lot of people this will work on, basically putting pressure right under the corner of the jaw. So if here's the corner of the jaw, here's the front of the chin, split the difference, go halfway, and then right behind the jawbone, I'm just digging in with my thumb. Again, I'm hesitant to call that a pressure point. I'm not really aiming at a specific acupuncture point. I'm just digging my thumb into her neck, and it hurts really bad, and it works. Nothing really fancy or mystical about it. She grabs the neck. Again, I grab the far wrist. Hand comes up, peel the face back. Now, some people may not be as sensitive to this, so if that doesn't work on everybody, you can also go under the nose. You can go to the eyes. You can grab the hair if they have hair, which is why I don't have hair. Okay, lots of options here, but my first one is generally under the chin. Peel back, and then you can drive them away. So that's the first one. Next one is the standing guillotine or front headlock. Again, another very common one in the self-defense scenario. First order of business is releasing some of the pressure off your neck. So again, I make that little cup and I pull the arm down. I'm not going to break the grip this way, it's just to relieve some of the pressure. Now my other arm, let's rotate this way, my other arm is going to come up, not around, but up the middle, and then I grab the shoulder. And then sort of in a Pez dispenser kind of motion, I'm going to apply an upward pressure on her throat as I put some downward pressure on her shoulder. Right into the trachea here. At the same time, I'm pulling down with my hand. Whether the grip breaks or not, I should have enough space to slip my head out, and then from here, I like to follow up with the knee, and then I can get rid of them that way. Let me show you from this angle one more time. Okay? So same thing, actually let's do the other side. Same thing, I'm grabbing the wrist, this hand is coming up, right up the front of the body, grabbing the shoulder, and then again, I apply that pressure into the trachea as I pull down. I like to step back at the same time. If you want, you can throw the knee. You can even counter with your very own guillotine. And that actually makes a really nice flow drill where both people can practice back and forth, okay? Next one is the neck clinch escape, okay? We also call this the tie clinch or the tie plum. Very common, you'll see this in kickboxing where you'll be throwing the knees this way, okay? So she grabs me by the neck. First order of business, make sure I don't get hit with the knees. I check the hips. Right here, so she does throw a knee, I can keep her body at arm's length, okay? Pull me nice and tight. So from here, I take one hand and I push the chin back. At the same time, I lean my neck backwards. Now, keeping this frame in place, I'm going to swim up the river, right in between her elbows with my other hand. And then this one swims up, and then again, I pull her in. And again, this makes a great flow drill because now your partner can do it, okay? Let me demonstrate one more time. Again, pressure here on the hips. I'll do the other side this time. I push the chin backwards as I lean my head back, and then look, this free arm is going to swim up the middle. And then as I reach for the head, the other one comes up the middle. I pull her head down, and now I've reversed the position. Of course, you don't have to reverse the position. You could simply get to here, frame, and then just escape that way if you wanted to. But again, we like to practice it as a flow drill a lot of times and let both partners practice back and forth. Last one on the green belt level is called Nikyo. This is a variation of one of the wrist locks. Okay, so straight collar grab. So just like Ikkyo before, where I turn and I rotate with the straight wrist lock, Nikyo I often use as a counter if this person manages to stand up and counter this technique. So she stands up and turns back in towards me. All I do is I take my fingers and I pull her elbow to bend her arm 90 degrees. So it's straight out, straight across, straight out. For that reason, some people refer to this as a Z-lock because of that angle. From here, I add the second hand to her wrist, and then I apply downward pressure here. Oftentimes, they'll drop down to a knee. Okay, one more time, from the other side. Surrender position. I go for Ikkyo. I like Ikkyo first because it turns her body away so she can't punch me. But if she manages to stand up, don't go, oh, well, I guess I lost it, and then just get hit. We're going to follow up with another technique. As she stands up, I hook her elbow to bend the arm, and again, I'm going to rotate this up. Again, it's straight, straight, straight. Keep everything compressed nice and tight. I add the second hand here, and then I apply forward pressure very carefully because this puts a lot of pressure on your partner's wrist. Bring them down to the floor. From here, if you want to follow up, you can just escape and get out. You can, of course, be really mean and throw a knee here. You can also go back to Ikkyo and then bring them down to the floor this way. So sometimes I'll actually transition from Ikkyo to Nikkyo and then back to Ikkyo. You could go right to Ikkyo, or right to Nikkyo rather, here. But I don't like doing that because I'm still close enough to get punched in the face. So I like this one first. And then and only then, if she manages to counter that, then I go to Nikkyo, because I think the risk of getting punched is just too great if you start out with the Nikkyo. By the time I've got the technique on, I can have already gotten hit in the face once or twice, and then I lose everything. So I'd rather be conscious of the punch first, and then if she manages to counter, I can go and you see just that little bit of pressure on the wrist will really drop them because it gets very, very intense very, very quickly. So when you do that, be very careful you don't hurt your partner. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Practice hard and be safe.